Okay, we're here with ticket 8738. It's a Jupiter JFL 700 flute, and we're just going to assess it before we start work. Now, I suppose we should start with the main body of the instrument. So here, straight away, the first thing my eyes land on is the venting of our E. It seems quite high. If I go and then press the E, you can see that the regulation is out. Here we go, there you are. That's first touch, so you can see that in the camera. We're not closing our speaker. It looks like it's being held up by this lever arm here. So that's a problem. Our F seems to be regulating quite well to our B flat and speaker. I did adjust that when on the spot when it was brought in by the customer earlier. The health of the pads look quite good. There was one, I believe, that did need changing. Here we go, our A. You can see that's torn there, that's torn. Our G sharp key, look how low this is, so it's underventing the G sharp, so the G sharp arm's going to need to be raised up. And we'll check the rest of the regulation as we go. They're the main standouts. How's F sharp going? F sharp seems to be closing here, so E is a big issue. As well as our G sharp, and our A needs changing. Okay, onto the foot joint. What can I see with the foot joint? It looks like our C sharp is a little bit open. Also, you'll notice straight away the spring's not engaged here. That's not a big deal, but it definitely would have made it very difficult to play. E flat looks okay. I don't think this is quite regulated. I think this is staying a little bit open just for feel. It's very hard to see that, but that's what I believe. And onto our head joint. Now, this was sounding a bit weird when I was just playing it. So I double check the tuning, and let's see if the light will get in there. There you go. You can see that that's very flat. That cork is all the way up. It's been dialed in much too much, so we're gonna need to undial it and sit it down, and it may result in a loose fitting cork. Anyway, we'll get it out and we'll have a look. So that's where it should be sitting. That feels reasonable, but the cork's going to come out anyway for us to give the body a really good clean, and we'll just assess the condition once it's out. Alright, that's our assessment of 8738. Alright, we've got the keys off, and here is our troublesome A pad here. Trying to get a good angle with the light. There you go, you can see quite clearly the big tear here, so we're going to take this out and replace that, and we'll show you the new one in there. Okay, so here is the pad that we've taken out, right there, and here is the new one. Now it's installed in the cup, and we've used the same shimming as was in there, so time will tell. When we put it on the body, we'll see how good the seal is and how good the seating is, and we'll just adjust from there. Okay, let's start getting our body assembled. Okay, we're back with ticket 8738, and I'm reminded why we love JFL 700 so much. Now that this is in working order, it's just a joy to play. So let's go joint by joint. On the head joint, we took out the cork. It was in good condition, but the backing plate was loose, so we tightened that up and just refit it to the head joint, and then got it sitting nice and tight and in tune. So the head joint's sealing and perfectly in tune, which is fantastic. Made a big difference. Next, let's move on to the body joint. We replaced the A key here. The pad, I should say, we replaced the pad in the A key. That looks really good and it's making a good seal, and it didn't fight us too much with the shimming, which is a relief. We did have to obviously re-regulate keys related to the A key. Next, we dialed out the regulation of this arm to our high E tuning key, the bottom half of our G key, and then we had to dial out our E regulation. So E again was the biggest problem, and that's sitting really nicely now. As I suspected, moving on to the foot joint, as I suspected with our foot joint, this regulation was not correct. This one was open. Our C sharp was open. So now that they're both sitting flush, it's nice and easy to articulate a C with the pinky on the roller. I'll keep my right hand in frame. Here's what it sounds like. Again, I'm just really trying to apply light pressure on my right hand.